Batman in front of the Batmobile.
I don't think it's the Batmobile yet.
It might not be.
I think this is when he gets it.
This is when he gets Welcome to the Bat Lessons Book Club. I'm Alex.
And I'm Brian.
This time we're talking about Absolute Batman Annual number 1.
Yes.
Do you know what an annual is, Brian?
I do not.
Okay.
Not a clue. Even when I went to pick up the issue, the comic book guy said that I had the issue and the annual, and I was like, cool, I don't know what that means. And he gave me this really quick primer that I forgot a lot of very quickly.
Yeah.
Because it was quick, and he just talked about what it used to do and then what it does now, and it sounded like marketing.
Yeah, no,
and I shrugged, and
100%. He probably knows better than I do what it is. I just know that it's a 13th issue. Every year there's an extra one, and it frequently, or in my experience, never has to do with the main storyline, other than it's in the same continuity usually.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like extra color. It's the sort of thing that oftentimes would be in a backup, right? So if a book is like big enough and popular enough, and they want to charge an extra $1 instead of being 22 pages, it'll be like 30 pages every month, and then they'll have an extra story in the back with it's written by a different writer artist combo. They do the same thing in annuals, where they just bring in extra people. And they tell sort of an auxiliary story. And the thing is about annuals is that the issue numbers are lower. so Absolute Batman had a number 1 already. But the fact of the matter is that if you put the number 1 on a comic book, then people will buy it. Yeah. And so this is the same series. They get another number 1.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing there's also some element of the people that they want to give a shot, and they don't want to give them all year. They give them the annual or something, and then they get some exposure and some experience and stuff, and then someday
I would say that's
take off.
More common in a backup than it is. So, for example, that's a perfect segue. The first story in this and the cover are by Daniel Warren Johnson. Do you know anything about Daniel Warren Johnson?
I don't.
He is great. He's so good. I haven't been keeping up with him lately. He's actually active on YouTube. He has I think his series is called Friday with D-Dubs or something like that. I probably butchered that.
Oh, cool.
But you get to watch him draw every week. He goes live, and he does art. And the cool thing about Daniel Warren Johnson is that he I don't know if he ever did art only for other people's stories. But what he's known for now, certainly, is he does everything. He does the pencils, he does the inking, he does the color, he does the writing. It's all one-stop shop, Daniel Warren Johnson.
That's great.
Yes, cool. And he is sufficiently successful in the industry that he gets to have the extra time, just like Brian Azzarello would, or a Jim Lee, and he gets prestige format stuff typically. So he did a DC Black Label book called Wonder Woman Dead Earth. That was fantastic. It was super good. He did, I want to say it was 8 or 12 issues. I'm not sure. He had a Beta Ray Bill series for Marvel. And yeah, his stuff is it's super good. He's the auteur comic book maker for sure, because his stuff is self-contained, usually doesn't tie in, it has a great heart to it, great art style. And it's always kind of I don't know, grungy almost. How to describe it.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense. The grungy is actually a really excellent word, because I was looking at this, and as I was reading it, and I was trying to find a good word for the fidelity, because there's a lot of detail, but there's also a looseness or a dirtiness to it.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the early Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff that I've seen.
Oh, the Eastman and Laird stuff, the Mirage. Yeah, black and white. I would say, yeah. No, that's definitely there's similarities there for sure. Lots of sketchy is the wrong word, because he does have definite hard lines around things. Although when it comes to fine details, wrinkles and folds and textures, it becomes much, much more impressionistic, right? Like, he has
impressionistic, good word. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the major shapes are well defined, but when it comes to, textures and things, there's a lot of like splats and, he doesn't just do cross hatching. Like someone like Jim Lee, as an example, he'll have lines that are like parallel, and he will do them, at different distances or different lengths, or, he'll have, different sections going against each other to like create depth and things. And DWJ, much less ordered, right? Like he could have some splatter, he could have some dots, he could have some squiggly lines, he could have some straight lines. It's like very freeform in terms of that sort of thing. And it gives it like a kind of a grungy, and I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I wish my wife was here, because she has a studio art degree, and she would explain this with words that I don't know very well.
Has the better adjectives for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing that is standing out to me and stood out is, like you were saying, that depending on the flow and the texture, the choice of how to shade changes. So like Batman's back here has like a lot of pitting, and it is almost reminiscent of like a woodcut print.
Oh, sure.
Right. Whereas like those masks, there's much more of like a linear flowiness to it.
So you can tell from the cover that these are like the antagonist in this issue is like not the KKK, but like basically,
Yeah.
They look almost like bald numbers. I don't know if you are familiar with Yeah.
I don't know if I know that one.
Have you ever been to Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri?
I've been to Branson, Missouri. I don't know if I've been to Silver Dollar City.
Wait, time out. How did you go to Branson but not Silver Dollar City?
I'm not saying I haven't. I don't remember. It was for our senior high school.
Okay.
Right after graduation, we did like it was like a long weekender kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we went to Branson because it was like, there's some like insurance thing. We can only go a certain distance with like the school or something. We went to Branson and it was fun. It was chill. But like, those were the days where I didn't pay attention to things. It was like, you get into a bus and you're teleported.
Yeah.
And you get out, you're somewhere else, So there's a lot of detail from those times where like, I don't really know where I was. I didn't have a lot of names for things. So if I looked up like the Google Maps pictures or something for Silver Dollar City, I might be like, oh, I recognize this. I totally was here. But I can't say that I was.
I guess without turning it into, we're on like such a tangent, but now I can't friggin' help myself.
Great.
Maybe we'll cut it. This is, if you don't watch the history show, this is what it's like all the time. So Branson's in the Ozarks. So if you've ever seen the Netflix show Ozark, those are they call them mountains in Missouri. They're not actually mountains. They're big hills in southern Missouri, and it's rural, and it's a tourist trap. There was a novel, I believe, written in like the 1850s called Shepherd of the Hills, that was incredibly popular, like New York Times bestseller, like prolific, cult following, and it was based in Branson, or I guess at least in the Ozarks. And so there's a bunch of things that are themed around that. There was I believe, a stage play that was like in an outdoor, auditorium or whatever of Shepherd of the Hills. And I think it might still be happening there. Anyway, so that was what started bringing people in like the 1950s, 1970s. It was a period piece. And everything built out around that. So like there's like Dolly Parton has a restaurant. There's what's the name of the wax figurine? Madame Tussauds or whatever. Yep. Yeah, there's a Ripley's Believe It or Not.
I was there. I loved it.
Yeah. All the tourist traps. Like if you've ever been to Niagara Falls, it's like it's that,
for sure.
Like, it's like mini Vegas or like Atlantic City or like I think there's one in like Tennessee. Forget the name of the town, but like you get the gist.
Yes, there is one in Tennessee. So like Dolly Parton's thing, I don't know what it's called now, but it was at the time called Dixie Stampede, and there was one in Tennessee.
Yeah,
and there's one in Branson.
I think it's just called Dolly Parton Stampede now.
Okay.
Anyway, Silver Dollar City is a theme park there that's it's actually quite good. Like I would say it's like a step above like the Six Flags. Cedar Point, Cedar Fair.
Oh, I don't think I went to a theme park there at all.
Okay. It's pretty good. It's
Cool.
it's 1850s themed, like kind of almost like Gold Rush Town themed, but it's themed after
totally.
Shepherd of the Hills.
All of Branson seemed to be like country western.
Yeah.
Those early, yeah.
Anyway, the antagonists are a gang called the Bald Knobbers that dress like this.
Oh,
If you ever Google it, like they've got like white hoods and then they have horns. They look like KKK, but not KKK. I would say, I don't know this, but they're probably progenitor or like related. I never read Shepherd of the Hills, so
I mean,
anyway.
it's fitting
Yeah.
because as I was reading this issue, the first several pages, in my head, the voice had a really thick, like Southern
Yes.
accent.
Yes. No, the like Missouri and Kansas in the Civil War were like border states. Like there was a compromise where Missouri became a slave state and Kansas became a free state. But like the North-South divide is in the state. So like I live, I don't know if I'm I guess we're telling people, I'm in Kansas City, right? And that's actually like very much like a non-regional diction. In fact, they have like a broadcast school at University of Missouri, Kansas City, and like people go there to learn diction, right? But if you go like an hour south, like the drawl and the twang, it's thick, man. Like people have it. And it's like there's no gradient there. Like it's black and white. So if you go to Branson, that's you're Southern all of a sudden. Yeah. So anyway.
Did you want to say anything about how there's 2 issues in here? And I was curious if
there's
the
like
second one
2
was
stories,
a different artist or not.
Yes. Yeah. So second story is by a writer artist combo that I am not familiar with, and I didn't even take note of it. In fact, there's like a third like 2-page story. It's not even really a story. It's like a bunch of bat facts. It's
at the very, very, very end.
Yeah.
I saw that. I did not.
But there's 2 stories in the issue. So anyway, the story begins, and it's a flashback, and Bruce is with his father, who in this universe is a doctor, and they're reading about a bombing in the newspaper.
No, he's a teacher.
Sorry, yes.
Teacher. Okay. All right, cool. I was like, what? Yeah, this is like a prequel to Absolute Batman.
Yes,
that's how I read it.
Correct. Yes,
and there's hints in there that clued me into that.
Yes. Sorry, brain fart.
No, all good. But yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
No, please.
Oh, so his dad, Thomas Wayne, has the Gotham Globe there, and it says extremist bombing, and he looks very upset about it. You see kind of a shot of what that was like. It's grisly and gross, and Bruce Wayne is like, why did they do that? And Thomas is like, man, I wish I knew. And he's kind of like saying, like he's implying like, man, what a world do we live in? This is not good, And then there's this kind of sweet moment where Thomas is saying, I love that I'm a teacher because every student I meet, I have a chance of changing their lives and hopefully giving them an opportunity to live differently. And then he says, well, what do you want to be, Bruce? And he says, what will you do? And I love that when it's saying that, it's got that shot of Batman with a flamethrower.
Yeah, like directly above
what will you do with your life, son?
He's like
I'm
taking his hand,
teaching.
like ruffling the hair,
Yeah.
And then we get a full page splash on the next page, and he's got a flamethrower.
Yeah, this is like a T-shirt.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, or a poster or whatever.
Yeah.
And we don't know it at this time, but this is a flash forward towards the end of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're drawing a contrast between like Thomas, teacher, helping people. Bruce, what does he grow up to be? Super violent. Yes.
Destructo man.
Yeah.
So then they jump to this slaughter swamp city limit sign there. So presumably a slaughter swamp was a city at some point. Now it appears to be some sort of encampment for a homeless population. And this truck pulls up, and he's like, yep, I made it. He goes into this gun store.
Gun store, yeah. We get the vibe that like Bruce is leaving the city to buy these weapons. That's the reason he's here.
And this is one of those like, I don't know, South, like Texas gun stores where they have flamethrowers and crazy stuff.
This could be Branson.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely getting that, like, especially after you said the bald numbers thing.
Yeah.
It does seem very South, and I would not say South like Texas. I'm just thinking Texas is where I think of guns. You know?
Sure. Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, there's this dude who's like, yeah, I have everything that you wanted, and Bruce is like, non-lethal, and the guy's like, less lethal, and Bruce is like,
good enough.
All right, I can work with that.
Yeah.
And so they exchange the money, and I did like this little bit where the guy's like, I know you don't have to answer this, but like, what are you going to use this for?
Yeah.
And Bruce is just kind of like, reasons, and the guy's like, all right, whatever. Yeah. And it's like transaction occurs, we move on, we forget each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
Bruce also asks him, like, what are all the tents, like, what's the encampment there?
That's right.
And the gist is that, like, there was some sort of construction project, that there was a big company that came and was going to be like economic development, and people came and they moved for that opportunity, but like fell through, right? I don't know if you caught that like the building there in front of is like, there's like a construction that clearly is abandoned. Was never finished.
Which I think there's like these little mystery boxes of like, okay, you said that thing, but you didn't say who it was, you didn't say what it was for. And like with all the absolute stuff, my mind goes to like arc related. Who knows?
Oh, sure. Maybe.
Could be something else, but definitely gets the mind, spinning a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Bruce hears some sort of a commotion, someone kind of crying for help. And the guy who just sold him the guns is like, yeah, I would leave that alone. There's nothing you can do about it. But this is Bruce Wayne, a.k.a. Batman.
Right.
And so he goes over, you see this terribleness going on.
Yeah, it looks like a mother and son, and like they were panhandling.
This is where you start to see the first hints of like racism, essentially, where they're saying like, what is that language that you're spitting out at us? Don't you know where you are? This is our town. And they're speaking, the family speaking Spanish, and they're harassing him, they're destroying their stuff. It's like, time to grow up, kid. And then Bruce out of nowhere just like caves in a guy's face with a punch. This is it's a cartoonishly violent depiction of fighting in this one, because there's a lot of stuff like this where like if this was real, that guy's dead. But like this is the Batman doesn't kill people, so this guy's okay. He just crushed his face.
And I just love that like this is Daniel Warren Johnson's style, but it like meshes so well with the over the top, like, Bruce is built like a brick shit house, like absolute Batman. Like it's a match made in heaven, I feel like. And as Bruce is like starting to dispatch these, like this gang of thugs in pig masks, which I don't know if this is a reference to Professor Pig or not, which is Batman villain, or if it's a reference to party animals. I don't think so, but it is a thing.
I took it as a ironic mask that they're pigs.
Oh, sure. Yeah, maybe.
And
the dude who ran the ammo store comes up behind Bruce and like hits him in the head with a wrench. Like he breaks it up.
Yep. And he's like, well, should have listened to me.
And the gang like continues to go in on this family, but out of nowhere, this priest, I guess, shows up. And tells him to stop. He like throws himself on top of the pile. Oh, no, he's not saving the family. He's saving Bruce. The family's running away.
Yeah, that's right. He jumps on top of Bruce because they're going to beat up Bruce. Like, well, let's teach him a lesson.
Yes.
The priest jumps on and is like, stop. This is not how you fix things. This isn't how it works. And then right here, you're seeing he calls out to this one guy. He says, like, I recognize your voice.
Yeah.
I know who's under that mask, right? We'll put a pin in that. That theme comes back around.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, oh no, he's uncomfortable because his priest is calling him out.
Knows who he is, yeah.
And the leader here on the motorcycle is like, you know what? Screw all this. Let's get out of here.
Right. So like the priestess like successfully saved Bruce, and Bruce has successfully saved the family. And later, he wakes up with a bandage on his head in what is presumably this guy's house. And he's like, I hope it's okay that I didn't take you to the hospital. It was like so far away. We both got beat up pretty bad.
And so then Bruce sees this picture and he pulls it up and he is like, is this you? And there's a priest in the picture, and the priest is like, yeah, a long time ago, made a lot of friends. We were going for peace, and that's just a never ending journey.
Yeah, it looks clearly like out of the 60s. Like I don't know if it's meant to be like,
exactly.
Anti-war protest or civil rights. Like could be at Selma or something like that.
Yes. So Bruce puts the picture down.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to this. It's kind of interesting that he sees this, asks a question, moves on, doesn't make any deal out of it. But this comes back, which is interesting. And so Bruce is like, there was a tattoo on multiple of their arms. What does it mean? And the priest is like, we had an outsider come recruiting. He was basically, he was spinning a yarn that they were interested in, and he gave him a dark place to go. Yeah. And which to me is like, is this like precursor to like Party Animal kind of stuff, or is this just like some other gang type of thing? Because gang stuff happens in all sorts of different contexts.
I think there's like a social commentary here, right? Which is part of the zeitgeist right now, which is like manosphere, like red pill, like whatever. There's like a male like loneliness thing that where people are disaffected in many cases, like rightly so, because like life has given them a raw deal, but then people come and capitalize that. You get like Andrew Tate or whatever who tries to make it simple, like your problems are caused by XYZ thing, and they can turn your angst into hatred, right? And I think that's the gist here, right? Is that like who are these people with the tattoos? And the priest is like, they were looking for an outlet, they were looking for a way, and someone gave it to them, right? Yeah. They channeled their energy in a negative way, which is like 100% happening. Like that's the Andrew Tates, that's like the Nick Fuenteses, that's the like people who are and I apologize if this is getting too real. You don't want to comment on any of this, right? But like
I mean, I did ask a very naive question with the intention of queuing you up to make this reference. So
no, 100%. Like it's my life sucks because I can't buy a house, which is like true, and like it's dating culture is totally effed up, which is true because of like social media and whatever. But you have someone come in and say like, well, the problem is that there was the women's liberation movement, and now there's women in the workplace, and all your problems are caused by the women's having pesky rights, the reason you can't afford a house is because like the immigrants came and like bought all the real estate, which is like all those things are not true, but like it's a simple, easy version of events that gives you someone to be angry at. That's not like politicians or corporations or things like that. Because if people are mad at each other, like if young dudes are mad at brown people or at feminists, then they're not focused on people who have power. Right. And I think that's what they're channeling here.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you're going to keep all this, but sure. It does strike me as like there's this recurring thing in the world for a long time that if anyone tries to say like the world's complicated and nuanced and let's get into that, then like people turn it off. Yeah. But if someone says like, oh, it's really simple, it's this thing that makes sense to elementary students.
Yeah, 100%.
then everyone's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. It must be true.
Yeah.
Right. That's why we have like flat earthers. That's why we have, oh, they look different than you, they must be the problem kind of stuff. They believe different things than you, must be the problem. And actually always it's just like more complicated.
Right. Yeah. It's like the fact of the matter is that if you feel powerless, right, because you are, that's deeply unsatisfying, right? And so you will find ways to reassert control, right, and agency in your life. And so it is, if there's a simple narrative that that helps you feel like you have more control, then you'll rationalize a way to believe it, right? Or you'll let yourself believe it, even if you maybe in the back of your mind know that there's more things to work through.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
So Bruce is headed out, and his body language is, he's not very happy.
Yeah.
And the priest is like, hey, they torched your car. Sorry about that. And Bruce is like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And the priest is like, well, what are you going to do? And he's like, sometimes peace isn't an option.
Yes. And then we cut to a bunch of these dudes. It looks like there's like a posse, like they're at the top of the hill, looking down on this encampment where all these people are living, in front of this abandoned construction project. And they've got tattoos or whatever, and clearly part of this gang that is racist or whatever. And a police car rolls up, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have to stop you." And then they're laughing, and the guys, the police end up putting on hoods themselves. And so the idea is that like they're in cahoots or whatever. That there's like a free pass for this group to operate in this town, and they just start beating the crap out of people. They come down this hill, and they start wailing on all these people living in these tents. And they're like, let's clean up this town. And one of the guys who has this barbed wire bat says, I'm the new truth. I am the power, pure power. And is getting ready to say white power. And Batman shows up and bends his arm backwards.
Yeah, makes his elbow go the way elbows don't go.
Yes. And there's 100% some catharsis in this, I think. Bruce is meant to be, it's rage, it's anger, it's whatever. Mm-hmm. And he spends the next 2 pages just beating the tar out of all these guys. There's not even that much dialogue.
He just goes to Pound Town.
Yeah.
And much more of the cartoonishly violent stuff where heads appear to be caving in.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah. There's at one point where one of the guys takes one of the children hostage, and says don't come any closer. And he's got a gun pointed at him, and Batman comes and F's him up.
Yeah, it's the gun shop owner.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
you're totally right.
And so he it looks like he batarangs him in the eyes.
He does, yes, and then knees him in the face. Which is
not compatible with vision.
No, it is not. Yeah, clearly, this is a Batman who, if he does care about not killing these people, he doesn't care very much, right? And that's the gist we got from the conversation with the gun store owner was non-lethal, and the guy's less lethal, and he's good enough, right?
Yeah.
He's showing.
I think that. Sorry, go ahead.
The vibe I get is he's showing the least amount of restraint possible, right?
Right.
Nowhere near what we would expect out of a Batman.
This is in line with what I think we were seeing in the early Absolute Batman, where 100%. He was making stairs collapse and stuff, where it's they didn't die, but maybe some of them lost limbs or became
sure. Yeah.
handicapped or something after that, but they're not dead.
Yeah. Well, and if it weren't for like expository, like Alfred, narration, like you could be forgiven as the reader, assuming that they are dead, right? Like
when we thought they were when we were doing the issue read until we got to that point. Yeah.
But as he's Batman is just like beating the tar out of all of these dudes, the same priest shows up and he jumps in and he stops Batman from wailing on this guy, right? Like he's clearly
the leader.
Yes. He's probably going to kill him, right? Like he's punching him in the face repeatedly. Boom, 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 right? Mm-hmm. And the priest jumps in and says, stop. And Batman says, what are you doing? And the priest says, this won't fix it. I don't know what's going to make it better, but, I only know that what you're going to do, it's going to make it worse. So please, don't do this, right?
He says, this isn't the way.
Yeah.
And then you get this shot of Batman that doesn't look very human.
Yeah.
Going, this is my way.
Yeah.
Which is reminiscent of the I am the power.
Yes.
What that guy was saying earlier as he was taking over through violence.
Yeah.
And I think as the audience, I'm thinking like the priest is making a point. Like this is a learning moment for Batman, that like by the end of this issue, he'll have learned something about what is a reasonable amount of violence. And if I recall, he has a moment similar in Absolute Batman where he realizes that he's been going too far.
Yeah.
And that he needs to figure out like a more balanced form of justice.
Yeah. It's definitely like a recurring theme. Although like in this moment, I don't think he's learning any lesson, right? Like I think he's not hearing what this guy is saying. He's just in a rage. The gang, the racist guys leave, right? And they all kind of head back to this house.
They're holing up. They're like, oh man, we just saw the devil himself coming after us.
Yes.
Get ready. Dude's a one-man army.
Yes.
And they're obviously like pretty concerned.
Yes, 100%. Like guys are like by the doors with guns and things like that. And there's this splash where we just see Batman in front of the Batmobile.
I don't think it's the Batmobile yet.
It might not be.
I think this is when he gets it.
This is when he gets Yeah, I didn't realize that. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
This must be because
it's yellow.
Is it? Oh yeah. And
you
it
can't
says
see it
cat
here
on it later. Yes. And they're at the construction site.
Yeah.
Mind blown. This is the origin story of the Batmobile. I didn't realize that. Yeah. Thank you for cluing me in. Yeah, and it's clearly like it's been abandoned. It's got the shroud over the top or whatever, and he's looking at it and he's like,
Yeah. Free?
Yeah.
Okay. And the next moment I think is actually like kind of funny in the delivery because you're doing it digitally. I'm doing it in pages.
Yeah.
And so it's like you've got this shot and then you've got this page where these guys are all like preparing and they're like, get back. And they're all like at the windows. And then you turn the page and it's a full two-page splash of him just driving through the house.
Yeah, just bulldozing it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Another moment when you're like, oh, everyone's dead now. Like,
yeah.
You would assume.
I really don't know how you can explain this as they're not dead.
The way you do is in the next panel, he opens up the door and then there's dudes inside and he's fighting them. So,
yeah.
But no, if this was literal, they would be.
They would be.
And he busts out a flamethrower and he's torching these guys. Another moment where you're like, oh, these people are all dead now. Like he is killing these people.
But this is another one of those important beats of him, the way he views this stuff, because this guy is scared and he's like, get back. We're human beings after all.
Yeah.
And Batman goes, no, you're roaches.
Yes.
The only way to deal with roaches is fire.
Yeah.
Right. And he just starts effectively like exterminating the roaches, which is not the right solution for Batman justice that we know.
Yeah.
This is rage-filled justice.
Yes. And like, again, I think we're supposed to be like vicariously in a way experiencing catharsis. Like clearly there's this rage that Batman is like putting into action. Right. And in a way he's feeling good about what's happening right now. And I think we're supposed to feel both, right? Like we're supposed to, like, to your point, this is not the way to do it, right? Like obviously we don't expect Batman to kill, but also like, you know, sometimes you want to punch a Nazi, right?
Oh yeah.
And they've got, because you know, history tells us about people like this, right? And like they've clearly in these panels switched from KKK imagery to Nazi imagery. Like they've got the red like flags with the seal on them, and like they're not. It isn't the, you know, the Nazi like symbolism, but it might as well be.
Yeah.
In the next panel,
we've got Hacksaw Ridge here.
Yeah.
Right. Do you know Hacksaw Ridge?
I don't know that reference. No.
Oh, it's a Andrew Garfield movie where he is a conscientious objector, and gotcha. He goes to war.
He's a medic.
And he does not carry a gun, and he's a medic.
Gotcha.
Right? And so we've got the conscientious objector priest coming up over the hill with his big medic bag, and he's starting to patch up these guys that Batman had just exterminated.
Yeah. And Batman asks him why. And he says, you know, you have your way and I have mine. And this is maybe the moment where the gears start to turn. He's not even trying to convince him, right? He's just explaining like, this is how I do it, right? And as Batman's driving away, we start to get flashbacks back to that first moment where, you know, Thomas is there with Bruce, and you know, they're talking about how they respond to these awful things in the world, right? This moment where there's this bombing, and he's explaining it to a child, right? You know.
So then Thomas is, Bruce is like, you know, you did a lot of really cool stuff, Dad. And Thomas is like, well, I don't know about that, because he's humble. And Bruce is like, you know, you made a difference, and I'm going to do that too.
I'm going to be just like you. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're flashing back and forth in these panels between like this like loving moment with this teacher dad to like smoke in the distance Batman, you know, and
he's like driving away from this like this scene of destruction that he's created. He says, I'm going to be just like you. I just have to figure out how.
And then full circle, we come back. He's looking at that same picture that the priest is in, and he said, I just have to figure out how. And he's a kid. And I think this is what's happening is Bruce as a kid sees this picture, and his dad is the one in the middle, and the priest is the one who's holding on to him.
Yeah, like they were marching together.
Peaceful protest. And so at the top of the issue, when top of the story, when Bruce is talking to this priest and he has the same picture, it's like, oh shoot, this guy knew my dad.
Yeah.
And he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't say anything. But I think that poignant connection is part of what gets his gears turning. Or if it was some other priest and he had not had that moment, had he had not seen that picture, had not thought about his dad, he might not be having the moment that he's having here at the end of the issue.
Yeah. And Thomas says, you know, I know you, Bruce. I know your nature. I know deep down who you are, and all you have to do is be yourself. And we get this moment where we're back in present day, like cutting back and forth with this, and Batman literally looks at his hands and they're covered in blood. And I'm not too proud to say that when I flipped to the last page, he's just, you know, sitting in front of this you know, construction equipment, but not a Batmobile. And he's like, you know, head in his lap, right? Thomas says to him, no matter what you'll do, I'll always be proud of you. And I cried when I read this, because I think, you know, you said earlier, this is Batman learning his lesson, right? And I think that's true, but when that is satisfying to us, in stories, it comes with a redemption, usually, right? You see him realize the error of his ways and he tries to make it better somehow. There's like a make good. He comes in and he rescues someone. He comes in and he, you know, he's going to be alongside the priest, like patching people up, or he's going to find a different way to solve the problem. Like he's going to tackle this gang, without violence, or he's going to help, the encampment of immigrants or whatever. And we're going to have a feel good ending, right? Like where, Bruce learned his lesson, but we get to feel good about the fact that he's a good person. And like, friggin', we don't get that. This is not a feel good, like, he's realizing that his dad would be disappointed in him, right? That what he wanted to do was to make a difference. And he's created this like cracked mirror version of that. Like he's making a difference in the wrong ways, right? And that is painful. Like there's sorrow, right? Like he feels like a fuck up, I would imagine. And that's just awful. Because I think everyone kind of knows that feeling to a degree, or has felt it at one point or another. And so that got me, man. Like it's rough. Yeah.
Really good writing.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, the cells swapping, context, giving you the words, it definitely makes you feel a thing. And
how dare he make me feel?
Yeah, I know. I would say like also like as a dad, there's a different way to read this that like, I think I'm more emotional reading it now than I would have been several years ago.
Sure.
Because now I'm seeing it more from this angle of like the innocence of like a child, and who knows what he'll become, who knows what type of choices he'll make. Yeah. And then reflecting on myself of like, have I become what my dad wanted me to? Yeah. I would say in a lot of ways, like, yes, but like, and we're all human, I don't think he expected me to move 2,000 miles away, for example. Sure. And so yeah, it definitely makes you stop and, learn some lessons yourself in a way, or at least think. Yeah. And like what I guess to modify a little bit of what I was saying earlier is I don't want to say that he's learned a lesson, but these are the stepping stones for him to learn a lesson in the end. And no, I think
I didn't mean to say he hasn't, right? He has, right? But it's not in a satisfying way. This is not a feel good, arc.
Yeah. And we have talked about this on a previous issue where Absolute Batman makes you feel like crap a lot. Yeah. And there are not a lot of satisfying endings. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of, I don't know, like the whole like genie thing where the wish comes true, but it's sour.
Yeah, it's the monkey paw.
And this is that kind of a thing where it's like, yeah, there's a moment, there's a realization, there's some sort of progress, but like it doesn't feel good. And at some point, it does feel good. Like we do see and I'm not recalling very clearly, but there is a moment where like you see him realize that he's being too intense. Sure. And like that is the moment that's kind of in a roundabout weird way came chronologically after, but literally before this story. Yes.
Yeah, no, I think we have gotten some of those satisfying moments where we've made good on like a moral lesson, or we've seen Bruce become a better person. But it does make me wonder, like ultimately, at some point they're gonna put a pin on Absolute Batman. They'll put a bow on it. It'll wrap up, even if like that doesn't mean canceling the book. Like Dragotta and Snyder will move on, or whatever. There will be an end even if it's not the end, and. I always kind of took it for granted that there would be some amount of feel good in there, and it's not a given, right? They may not do that, and it would probably be better for it, but I can't say that I want it, right? I some of the sort of like most difficult stories, movies, books, whatever that I've ever consumed, I appreciate them a lot in retrospect. But they can be painful in the moment. Like I don't like crying. I don't like feeling bad. I don't like feeling, even if there is a catharsis and like the manifestation of like, you know, you get to step through your depression, or you get to step through your feeling of helplessness, or you get to step through your feeling of loss or regret. And so it's ultimately, you know, probably even like a net emotional or psychological good. But like that unpacking process is like arduous and painful, and it sucks. And like, you know, I would seldom choose it. You know, you have to trick me into reading that story or watching that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that I really like about Absolute Batman, that is happening here, is this story is about Batman, but I think this story is for us. It's for the audience. It is a I don't know, an allegory. Would that be the right language?
I don't know.
It is maybe a cautionary tale. This is saying there are lots of reflections we're seeing in here of like what's happening in the world, present day, right now. Yeah. And trying to change the way we think. Yeah. To make better choices.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. No, it's definitely trying to speak to the moment. This second story, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not even sure I fully grok it, and I think that has entirely to do with the fact that I didn't have time for a careful read, and that I'm on baby brain. Like my son, we've started weaning him off. There's this fancy bassinet called a snoo that does white noise, and it kind of like rocks him to sleep and stuff. And they tell you by like 6 months you should really kind of be off of it. And so we've been weaning him off. They have this weaning mode. So like you like stick one arm out, and then you stick the other arm out, and then like it stops rocking him as much, and then it doesn't rock him at all unless he, you know, anyway. So that means that he's not sleeping quite as good as he used to. And so like I'm working on not a lot. Why am I telling the story? The point is that I don't really get this second story. I hope you can walk me through it.
Yeah, well, I feel like I understand it pretty well. Okay. The thing I want to say, I'm going to keep bumping on this theme, is that this is like kind of the same story. It's a sequel. It takes place afterwards, but there's a lot of reflection going on with that first story. And that's why I think we'll hit it really quickly. So the major beats, you got a group of bad guys show up to this church-looking thing. They go in. And one guy is leading them. He's saying, hey, through here. This is where it gets kind of tricky, because like this is like the main character of this story. Yeah. But he's like wearing a mask, and it might be hard to figure out who he is in every cell. I think he's the
son of the people who are living here, right?
Yes, but I mean, like in the art, sometimes it's like, is he this one or is he that one?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Because he's wearing a mask, right?
Yes.
So he shows up. He's like, yeah, guys, make yourself at home. He sits here. He's looking, and he sees this picture. It's a family picture. Yeah. And they do this thing where you're like, okay, that kid is this guy in the skull. Yeah. Right. So he's at his family home.
Yes. Well, and they're like renovating
with a bunch of bad guys.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that yet. But yes.
Yes. That is expose we get here.
Soon. Right? Yeah. And so, these bad guys, they start like, I don't even know what they're doing. Some canola oil, they're boiling oil. I don't know why they start doing that, except that I think they know Batman's coming or something like that.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad you got that, because the way I read that was like, is this like liquor? Are they going to burn the place down? Is that a time bomb?
I was really stuck on it for a second until there is a label that says Crisca canola oil or something like that. Sure. It's kind of hard to read, but like they're boiling oil, and then later it gets thrown around. So I think they're like preparing for a fight. Okay. And there's this huge hulking figure that is following this kid. Yeah. And he's like, okay, this is my dad's house after my parents split. And it's a church. And as congregations are going away, business got away. They're flipping these churches. Yeah. So now he's like living in a church.
Which is the thing, by the way. Like that's absolutely, yeah.
And then you hear this voice off to the side that says, I sleep with a shotgun these days. And it is this guy with a shotgun. And he said, what have you done now, Victor? And so he says, I recognized your voice. Right. He just knows like the priest recognized that kid's voice under the pig mask. Yeah. He said, I recognize your voice.
And it's juxtaposed with like clearly they've opened a safe. They're robbing the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he said, I thought I recognized the voice. I called the cops.
Yeah.
And the dude's like, the cops don't answer very quickly these days. What are you even doing here? I thought you were going to be in Florida.
Yeah.
So like he's robbing his family's house. Kind of surprised now that he might be messing up his dad's life. He thought it would be safe.
Sure.
His dad wouldn't be home, right? Dad is like, not going to Florida because my wife, my mom, whoever it is, woman got sick, died.
Yeah.
The guy is like sad for a moment because he has not known that.
Yes.
And the dad is like, I would have told you, but I never have any idea where you are.
Yeah.
And this kid gets angry. And so you get a glimpse into like, okay, this is not like a good person, obviously, because they're like wearing the skull mask, but also like he's a really angry dude. So like this, a lot of times really angry people, they end up wearing like skull masks and being in gangs and stuff.
Well, I think that it's not just skull masks. These are party animals, right?
Yes. And he just starts to yell at him. He calls him this stupid old bastard. Yeah. And then Batman shows up.
Yeah.
Right on time. Takes out the guys that are up in like the turret or whatever. And he starts going to Pound Town. He wipes people out. He's coming in. And some dude comes out of nowhere, smashes the dad in the head.
I read that as the son.
See, this is where I get, it gets rough for me because like they're doing colors, they're doing shapes. I think these are two other dudes.
But yeah, it could be. Probably is. I don't know.
And especially because like when you get to that next panel that's cut off there, there are these two. No, you're good. There's these two dudes on top of him, and this green dude off to the right obviously is the son, and he has this body stance like he's kind of surprised that just happened.
Okay.
Huge hulking figure. No, I'm following this story really well, so this is great. And so this big dude comes up and he's like, "Hey man, we need guns. How do I get guns?" And the dad's like, "There's a floor safe behind the bar." And you get this look from this kid like, "My dad has guns? What?"
Yeah.
And so then they go for it. You hear a crash. The kid is like, "That's the upstairs skylight." This hallway is the only way in. We've got a bottleneck here. There's no way he can surprise us.
Yeah.
So they're all preparing, and they're like, "Okay, kid, you're our fearless leader." I actually think that there's an art mistake right here. And this is one of the things that had me really hung up, is they're saying, "Looks like you're a fearless leader," referring to this dude with a shotgun who has a tie on, but the kid is a bow tie.
Okay.
I think this is supposed to be the kid.
Okay.
And
I did not catch that.
A bow tie.
I had no idea that this was supposed to be the kid, but that makes sense.
Because it's his house.
Yes.
And so then, this huge dude is like, "Here we go. Let's wipe him out." He takes some drugs. We pull out these huge guns and grenades, and the kid's like, "Grenades, Dad?" And the dad's like, "The neighborhood's gone downhill." And this big dude is like, "Man, you're one of us. This is great." and then this is where they're pulling those pans of oil because they're going to attack Batman with them. Batman does what he does, where he sneaks in and he's wiping people out in ways they didn't expect. Catches them by surprise.
Speaking positively about the art for a moment, I really appreciated that we've got the opposable thumb arm things. He's like hooking people with them. He's walking through the doors. Like, I don't. Yes, this is just like a cool pose. Like I like this.
Yes, and I did notice that it wasn't in the previous issue. So I'm glad it was in this one.
Yeah.
Now here is the moment that tells you this is a sequel to that first one.
Okay.
Is you see this huge dude who's got scars all over him, and he's like, "Hey, you burned me once, you son of a bitch."
Oh, Brian. Okay. So this is implied that this is from the Daniel Warren Johnson story.
Yeah, this guy was flamethrowed survived, healed up, came back.
Okay.
For revenge.
I didn't connect those dots. I'm glad you did.
And then he pulls out these huge Uzis and he's like, here we go, essentially. Starts shooting. Dad jumps on top of the kid. He says, those are high velocity rounds, get down. Dude unloads, just kind of destroying everything. He's not hitting Batman because Batman's a badass. Batman takes him down pretty quickly. The dude's on drugs. So in the issue, there's a shot of Batman where he looks like an alien.
Okay, yeah.
And it's because the bad guy's on drugs, and that's
glad
what
you're
he
following
sees.
all this because I didn't.
I'm following this good.
Okay, yeah.
And so in terms of like the reflection, you've got like the kid and the dad. You've got this like big gang of people. They're holing up in an area, preparing for Batman to take them out. In the first issue, Batman bulldozes the place. In the second one, he's quite a bit more tactical. You've got this guy who's the unhinged crazy one and is absolutely destroying everything. That was Batman in the last issue. And then they're throwing oil at him. Batman stops them, and they're saying to like the last lady who's like holding one, they're like, just get out of here. You know, drop it and run, save yourself, you know. The huge dude is like scorched earth. I'm getting this guy. He pulls grenades. He's gonna blow himself up so that he can blow up Batman. Yeah. And he said, suns burn to make light and cast out the dark. And Batman zooms out of there. Everything explodes. Batman is fine. He looks in. You see this totally blood-soaked dad holding his son, saying, oh, good, you're okay. You're all right, kid. And they hug each other as, and this is like the prodigal son kind of thing. Like, you've done so many bad things, but I still love you anyway. Yeah. Which is a reflection of where, at the end of the last issue, Batman's crying because his dad says, no matter what you do, I'll always be proud of you. Yeah. And this is that, but it's for an actual bad guy instead of for Batman.
Literally
Batman
showed up to
away.
like rob his father, who's estranged from, who like has gone through his like ex-wife dying or his mother dying or something like that. He's not even in the picture. Like could not have done him more wrong, right? And he's accepting him back in open arms. Yeah. And juxtaposed in front of like Mary and Jesus, I guess, in the same glass. Fascinating. I'm glad you followed the story because I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't catch any of that. I wonder if the parallelism between the two was on purpose. Like if they had a conversation.
I think it has to be.
Fair enough. Yeah.
There's so much that it would be inconceivable for it to be coincidence.
Yeah. I wonder if like you coming in as a non-comic reader set you up better to notice all that than for me. Because like I'm gonna be honest with you, some of that's like I'm just bringing my baggage of like, okay, this is an annual, right? This is how they get me to buy a 13th issue, right? Like they're getting an extra $6 from me. I know Daniel Warren Johnson. They brought him in. Sweet, let's do it. You know, and I'm like paying attention, and I know this artist, and I know the storytelling, and it's great. And then we switch to a different writer artist, and I'm like, oh, this is an unrelated thing. This doesn't have anything to do with it. Let me give it a shot. And I'm not thinking about like this is an issue of the book. Like this is one like artistic piece of work, and you're coming in like with a different lens than me. That probably helped you walk away with a better understanding.
I don't have baby brain.
Sure.
So that's like, I would say that like traditionally speaking, when we're talking about like movies and stuff,
sure,
you are way more analytical at saying, this is how this is how storytelling works. You know, this references that means this is happening at the end, etc.
So for the record, I'm trying to do that on this show.
Oh, for sure.
That is not the case that I'm always like, oftentimes I'm reading an issue 2 or 3 times. And sometimes I'm even like Googling like what other people say or whatever. Because I want to I want to be a good host, right? And I want to bring those things. So
totally.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm some sort of savant over here. This doesn't always come easy.
No. I mean that like you understand the elements.
Sure.
The principles of storytelling, right? And so I think that one thing that I've been doing quite a bit with Absolute Batman in general is, and I think maybe this is because I've read so few comics that the only comics I've read are like really highly rated.
Sure.
And so I'm always thinking that they're trying to tell us something.
Yeah.
Like everything that's happening is for a reason.
Yeah.
And so anytime anything interesting happens, I'm like, why did they do that? There's a reason.
Yeah.
What's it referencing? What's it pointing to?
Totally.
What is he thinking?
Yeah.
Etc.
It's the type of careful read that all books probably deserve, right? But I've been jaded. I've read so many comics that were kind of slop that I flip my bozo bit, I guess, and I just start to filter it out of like, oh, I don't really understand what's happening here, and so not my problem. You know.
It does make me wonder.
Yeah.
If I reread all of the Absolute Batmans up until this annual, because this takes place before them, what I would see differently.
Totally.
Because like for instance, there's all the Star Wars stuff. I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Sure.
And it's like they did Death Star, had this, like, why on earth is it that you can shoot down an exhaust port to blow the whole thing up?
Sure.
What? Yeah. Right. And then they did this prequel stuff, and it's like, oh, they explained that. I'm completely fine with that happening now. I see it through a completely different lens. There's new information. Right. And then they did Andor, which is a whole prequel TV show ahead of Rogue One. And it's like, oh my God, now I watch Rogue One differently.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. And so like we've got some new prequel material here.
That's
and
true.
I'm curious what we learned in here that would make me read the other issues differently.
Totally. Yeah. I love it. There's meat on the bone for sure. There's a lot to chew on here. What a great issue.
Hey, Bat fam. Hope you like the show. Please like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Stickers. We got them. Great way to support the show. They're $5, and you can find a link in the description and on batlessons.com. To keep on rolling, watch this video.